G'day guys, it's Ralph here and welcome to my backyard where I'm going to show you how you take amazing photographs on your phone of your family or your friends or your kids. There's a few tips and tricks that if you know, you'll have incredible results that you'll be super stoked with and be able to share with, well, whoever you want. So first of all, I need some help and I've got just the person, and here is Hamish. There he is. Say hi, Ham.
Hi.
All right, so Hamish is going to be our model for today and going to help me out with a few things, and you're going to be able to see through my phone. I'm using an iPhone 12 Pro Max, but the things I'm going to teach you work on any phone that has a camera, which is any modern phone these days. So let's get stuck into it. First thing you need to think about is what sort of orientation do you want the shot? So what are you going to do with the shot when you're finished? Are you going to put it on social media and therefore have a shot like this? Or are you going to put it in a photo book, maybe like that? Or maybe you've got some setting behind that you want to capture so that you need to landscape mode. What do you reckon, Haim? Like this or like this?
Like this.
Oh, nice one. You always need to take into account that there is a scene happening behind them, and how do you capture and frame that scene so you can place the person in that space depending on what the scene looks like. Then what we want to do is, when we've got him set and we've got his scene right, we want to focus on him, and we're going to focus by hitting his face, which is going to bring up this, and if we hold our finger on his face, it auto locks, and so that means as long as I stay about this far away from him, he will be in focus. Now if I run away, he will become blurry, or if I go really close, he will get blurrier and blurrier. But if we go about here, he'll be nice and sharp. So now I don't need to worry about holding the camera still and all those other sort of things. I've got him in focus and it's looking good. Now let's talk about angle of shot. Here is the shot that most people take of their kids. Smile, Haim. And the problem is, when you take a shot like this, his head is massive and his feet are tiny and it all looks a little bit out of whack. So what you want to do is put the phone parallel, we'll do that in a sec, parallel to his face and move it back. There you go, give us a pose. Oh, nice one. Have you got any others? Good job. If you have more people in the shot and the shot fills up, you may have to higher the camera or move back, but the tip is to keep it as parallel as you can with your subject. People will think, what are you doing? Because you'll come back to take a photo and you'll lower your camera. You'll lower the camera. You don't have to go head height and cut their feet off. Lower the camera to about mid chest range and it will get everyone nice and flat and in shape and in perspective, especially if what you've got in the background is some square shaped things. You want to keep those lines as straight as you can, be more pleasing to the eye. All right, now we've got the question of composition, and this is interesting because on this phone and on some of your phones you will have the chance to zoom in. Give me a face, Haim. Nice one. And then you can go, oh nice, standard, or you can go super wide. And depending on what your scenery is behind and what you're trying to capture, you can choose how wide you go. Now here's an interesting tip. If your phone doesn't have zoom capabilities on different lenses, this has 3 different lenses and different zoom capabilities. If your phone doesn't have that, it is better for you to move closer and move further away to keep them in focus rather than using the digital zoom, because the digital zoom breaks down the quality of the image. So it's better for you to move if you're able to capture a better image rather than being lazy and just using the zoom, because your finished product won't be what the camera is capable of providing. The other thing you want to make sure is that the background of the shot is not messy. Just stand still for a sec. So if I shoot him like this, he's got a pole coming out of his head. If I shoot him like this, you see there's nothing in the background. It's all boring. Background's all boring. So just stand there, stand in the middle. But if I frame him nicely in that archway, and then if we can move, I'd say, hey, move a step that way. Perfect. And there you go. I can just bang that off and we've got one of him framed very nicely. Always look about the background. Is the background what you want? If you don't want anything special in the background, put him against something plain, like the fence that's there, the wall that's here, against some trees or some bushes, so that they don't draw attention. Or you know those uniform shots that you take at the start of the year? You take it like this or like this, but you do it behind some trees and try and choose the same trees or the same bush or the same fence or the same wall every year, and you'll have some continuity in their development rather than people looking at the background and how that's changed, right? Simple tip, but kind of handy. So it's the perfect day for us to talk about this next factor. Look at the light on his face. We're going to go nice and close, so just stay there, Haim. As you can see, there's harsh shadows, really harsh shadows. So you can see that I'm standing in the shade like this, but he's in the light, and that makes really harsh shadows. But Haim, step forward a little bit. Keep coming, and a bit more, bit more, bit more. Oh, stop. And all of a sudden, do you see on his face that these colours are so much better, they're smoother. Now he's a bit dark and the background's a bit light, so what we want to do is tap on his face and draw this little sunshine next to him. We want to draw that up, which will increase the exposure so he looks beautiful. Big smile. Nice one. And the final thing I want to talk about is this setting in our top left-hand screen that new phones have. There's two of them. This top one is live and this bottom one is raw. Raw means that if you take a raw, when you edit it, you can get more detail out of the darks and of the lights. You see that last photo was really, really bright. If I shoot that in raw, I can reclaim some of that detail. It's very dark, I can reclaim some of that detail in editing on your phone afterwards. But for most of us, most of the time, we don't care, right? You just want the camera in the phone to do all the work. And so what you do is you make sure it's on live view. The reason you put it on live view is this. Jump in the shot. Now, hey, I want to give me a bit of a dance. Just hit me up with a dance, whatever you like. And so I've taken a live shot of him doing a dance. Now, when you take photos of kids, right? When you take photos of people, they move. They're not paying attention. They're blinking. Their eyes aren't open. They're doing all sorts of things. If you take the shot on live, watch what you can do now. And so I have my live shot. It's not perfect, but if you tap on it, you'll get all 2 seconds of him doing the thing. It's 2 seconds. It takes a second from either side of you pressing the button. Now what we need to do is go to Edit. We go this little button here, and I can choose my favorite version of what he was doing. And I like, let's go this one. And I can make key photo, and that becomes the key photo that when I want to look at it, there it is, nice and in focus. He's looking at the camera, he's busting a move. It's happy days. And so you can use live view to select the best photograph. If you've enjoyed this video, please subscribe and give me the like. Consider joining and becoming a member just down below. If you've got any questions, I'd love to answer them. Please put them in the comments section, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye. Say bye.
Bye. Now will you put me like walk into a spot like this? Or will you be like making...
No, you're just going to appear. Yeah.
Oh, so I just come here.
Just out of nowhere.
Like just jump down from the woods. It looks like
yeah. See hide behind here? And I'm going to do an intro, ready? But don't peek, because people won't know what's going on.